Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Eric. And I pluck them strings in Death of Massive Stars. Yeah, DOMS started back in 2012, 2013, 2012. 2012. That was when things started becoming real for us. We actually started creating tangible music. I remember it was like my senior year, and I finally had a product to show all my friends in school. I had a product to show teachers who always talked to me about music and what I was gonna do with my life. And I'd always say, yo, like I'm going out on the road. I'm in a band. Like I'm gonna do things with my life that I actually enjoy. I don't really see myself pursuing a bachelor's in anything. I told everyone I'm going to Triton. I'm gonna stay at home. I'm gonna work on music with my brother, and that was my primary focus. And when we actually wrote and recorded Disturbance of Piccadilly Circus, we had a little bit of a demo, like I said, towards the end of my senior year, and that alone made me excited just to record, just to even write more music. The following year, we were able to write a 4-song EP, Escalera, and that was a huge step for both of us. That was something that we can probably say was a product of something that both our minds, that, you know, just something that we both created. It was like it's a perfect representation of who we were at the time, what our influences were, and they still are. We try to put our own spin on things, try to incorporate the Spanish aspect of our music as well as we could. We have influences from all over. We tried our best to take all the favorite things that we have and all of our favorite music and try to make our own thing of it. Obvious influences from like Fall of Troy, Dance Gavin Dance, Mars Volta, even to like merengue, like Simano Rosario, or like some salsa, like some Mark Anthony. Elvis Crespo is not salsa, it's merengue, but you know, that kind of thing. We try to incorporate that with our own music. We're proud of our culture. We're proud of being Puerto Rican. We're proud of all the music that we create, and we continue to do so with this album. Well, I could go on for days about inspiration. Yeah, my first concert ever was when I was 10 years old. I saw Santana and Los Lonely Boys at Grant Park, I want to say. It was a taste of Chicago. Yeah, I was 10 years old, 2005, 5th grade. I remember being really excited to go to my first show. I remember my dad trying to give me tips and stuff for how to make a concert experience the best possible. I remember him telling me to make friends with people in line, so that way if you have to go to the bathroom or whatever you need to do, you can always just come back and someone to have your spot in line, you know? One of the very first tips I learned about going to concerts, I learned my first show. I remember being just a ridiculous performance. Like, it was so cool to finally see someone I'd listened to since I was as young as I can remember. My dad would always be playing their records in the house. Dennis Chambers was on drums, and he did this one drum solo that made me fall in love with live performances in general and just catching shows. And he was like just rapping this drum solo, and I remember him walking away from the drum set while also playing the bass drum with his foot. And I remember freaking out and like standing up from my seat, like, yeah, motherfucker, that was sick. Like, oh my god. Yeah, I was hooked. A few years later, I went to some more shows. Saw Boston, saw Styx, Goo Goo Dolls, another favorite of mine when I was younger, still now. That pours into who I am as a person and I love going to shows. David loves going to shows. We're going to shows together with our friends and our family. But yeah, back to influences. Kind of drifted out there. When I was younger, I was heavily influenced by Sinister Gates from Revenge Sevenfold, Seven Dust. When I was younger, System of a Down was about as heavy as I got. Actually, that's pretty heavy for me being 7 years old. And as I got older, I started liking just like bands like Fall Troy, Tom Erak, was someone that I wanted to play. Like, his style's really crazy, and just like the fact that he can play and scream at the same time and not miss a beat, like, it's wild to me. In a live setting, I'd say Ben Wyman, Dillinger Escape Plan, is one of my favorites to watch. Dude goes all over the place. He'll go, and like, if it's an auditorium, it doesn't matter where you're at. There's a possibility of you making contact with him, because he'll go walking to the stands. He'll like fall on top of you, give you a hug. He'll jump into the crowd. He'll stand on your face. Like, anything. The dude's an animal. There's 13 incredible tracks on this record, all with different themes, all with different ties to each other, whether it's musically or lyrically. I'd say musically, Good Gandhi is a top tier one for me, just because the spontaneity that came into it while recording it. I knew that I wanted it to be the most, not unique, but the most effect-heavy song on the record. I knew I wanted some whammy pedal in there. I know I wanted something from the FM4. I wanted something wacky. I don't know. This is a bad word to say. Something, wacky. Wanted it to stand out from everything else. I wanted it to have this energetic feel. I wanted it to be the most in-your-face song on the record. I wanted everyone to just kind of freak out when they heard it. I wanted it to be very appealing live, in a live setting. I wanted the ending of the song to be as high energy as possible. When we play it live, it's always my favorite part. I just, like, I don't know, there's something about it. It's the key change, it's the effects I'm using, it's the whistle. You'll hear it, it's so good. It's one of my favorite things. Any kind of song that has a good whistle and it just leads us like some like heavy hitting riff. Oh my god. Yeah, Good Gandhi's top tier for me. If I had to pick another one, God, what's on this album? Ezra Pounded is another fun one, just because it was one of the later songs we wrote together, especially being me and Polly working on it, drum and guitar wise. A lot of my hardcore influence pours into it. I remember at the time I was listening to Foundation a lot, and a lot of Blistered, a lot of Famachara, some of those more obscure hardcore bands. I just wanted something with a two-step feel to it, something that was also heavy and like really slow and grimy. I don't know, I guess that's the best way to put it. Sludgy. I don't know any of those dirty experts. Ezra Pounded is one of my favorites because it's like one half is really post-hardcore, second half is straight up hardcore, and it just goes crazy. And then there's Naked Branches, which is lyrically something that I can identify with. David wrote the lyrics, but it's also something that I feel like I personally have gone through in my own life. And then just structurally, it's a really fun song to play. My math rock influence was able to pour through into it, and just like all the weird time signatures and everything like that, it was fun to put together. It was, it's a really fun song to play live as well. It's cool to just like count up everything and have that connection with everyone on stage, and when everything really comes together, just got these really good peaks in it that hit hard and kind of could make everyone lose their mind when they see it live. I don't know. I'm really into high energy performances on stage. It's all about energy. We're energetic. We're fun-loving people. We appreciate everyone. We appreciate whoever comes out to our shows. And yeah, I just hope that this album is a good thank you for everyone, especially like our close, our loved ones, friends, family, fans, anyone who's been there from the beginning, anyone who's just come into our lives recently. I hope all this makes you proud.
We'll do the 2 slides. Ba, 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 da, da,
I get you.
just to kind of like break up like the monotony of it, you know? It's such like a cool riff. You don't want to like get people sick of it like right away.
Yeah, I agree.
And then do that like some sort of amount of times, and we can like like all in like a like just all everyone drop out, and then we gotta figure out some cool part to go into. That's like a pre-chorus.
If you're a listener and you're listening to this album and you can find like the good aspects of the music itself, but also like the lyrics, I'd say we've done our part. Like we just want everyone out there to understand that it's okay that there's heartbreak. It's okay that things don't necessarily go as planned, but the record itself is proof of all that, you know. It's taken years for us to finish this record, but you know, we're there, you know, and we're super proud of it, and we hope that all of you love it just as much as we do. We can't wait to play all these songs for you guys. As far as the future of DOMS goes, we're in it, you know. We're in it to go for the long haul. We want to tour everywhere. We want to see every place there is to see possible, you know. The sky's the limit, and I'm not stopping anytime soon, and David's not stopping anytime soon. DOMS is here to stay, and we kicking it. We kick it.
All right, Eric, show us the technique. Here we go. Wonderful. It's actually